Management of FMDQ Group, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the official launch ceremony of the FMDQ Green Exchange, a milestone which will contribute significantly to not just Nigeria's, but Africa's achievements in and endeavors towards actualizing the global climate goals defined in the Paris Climate Agreement and the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, of the United Nations. Perfect timing, you will say, but I'll leave that to other seniors there to speak to. First, I would like to recognize His Excellency, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Executive Governor of Lagos State, the special guest of honor of this ceremony, herein represented by Mrs. Sholakbe Hammond, Special Advisor to the Lagos State Governor on the SDGs and investments, for graciously accepting to be part of this occasion, unequivocally demonstrating His Excellency's commitment to the green and sustainable finance drive in Lagos State and Nigeria. I would also like to thank the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission Nigeria, the SEC, Mr. Lamido Yuguda, most punctual today, and the Vice Chairman of the Financial Center for Sustainability Lagos, FC4SL, Dr. Doyin Salami, for gracing us with their esteemed presence at this event. The SEC, being the apex Nigerian capital markets regulator, continues to provide its immeasurable support in the development and sustainability of the Nigerian capital markets, while the FC4SL Lagos has continued to work collaboratively with FMDQ Group and other key stakeholders to shape Nigeria's financial markets ecosystem in alignment with the global sustainability agenda. I would also like to recognize the presence of the Director General of the Debt Management Office, Ms. Patience Oniha, the Group Managing Director, CEO of Access Bank PLC, Mr. Herbert Wigwe, represented, the representative is on his way, and the Executive Vice Chairman and CEO of North South Power Company Limited, Engineer Olubunmi Peters, also represented, all of whom are representing issuers that are blazing the trail in the green and sustainable finance space in the nation, as well as recognizing other distinguished guests, Mr. Bolaji Balogun, the Chair of the Steering Committee of the Debt Capital Market Development Project, and a very good friend known as BLJ, the British Deputy High Commissioner. Thank you. I thank you, all of you, for being here today. FMDQ Group recognizes the imperative role it plays in the Nigerian financial markets and the opportunities its business represents in its ability to promote sustainable economic growth and development, and as such understands that the delivery of long-term business success, value creation, and prosperity is not only hinged on financial, but also environmental and social performance. It is in accordance with this that FMDQ Group, through its subsidiaries, has continued to take the lead in championing green and sustainable finance initiatives in the Nigerian financial markets. Summarily walking you through our journey thus far, some of these notable initiatives include inter alia. 1, the formalization of a partnership in March 2018 through the execution of the cooperation agreement to support the development of the Nigerian green bond market between FMDQ Group, Climate Bonds Initiative UK, and the Financial Sector Deepening FSD Africa, which led to the establishment of the Nigerian Green Bond Market Development Program. I remember Mr. Bolaji Balogun and I having a conversation after the progress being made on the sovereign nations, and he said focus on the private sector. The following day, December 23, I took off to London to meet Climate Bonds Initiative. Thank you, Mr. Balogun, for that advice. Working assiduously with key stakeholders in the financial markets ecosystem to set up the Financial Center for Sustainability Lagos, FC4SL Lagos, making FC4SL Lagos the 23rd member of the FC4SL Global Network in May 2019. I believe the Executive Secretary, Mr. Emmanuel Etada, is also here. Since its establishment, FC4SL Lagos has actively collaborated with FMDQ Group to A, co-sign a declaration with the Lagos State Government conveying the commitment of Lagos State Government and FC4SL Lagos, as well as other key stakeholders, to advance green and sustainable finance in the Nigerian financial markets, in alignment with the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Paris Climate Agreement. B, secure the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with Casablanca Finance City Authority, Morocco, one of the founding members of the FC4SL Global Network. And C, organize the Green Tagging Project kickoff ceremony with some banks in Nigeria. And finally, D, organize various stakeholder sensitization and capacity building webinar sessions on green and finance and sustainable finance. Number 3, FMDQ hosted the Nigerian Capital Markets Conference in November 2019, which saw the launch of the State of the Market Report under the Green Bond segment that focused on charting a green path to economic development in Nigeria. Number 4, facilitating the listing of green and sustainable securities via its wholly owned subsidiary, FMDQ Securities Exchange Limited. And on September 14, the Green Bond Market Development Program partners executed a memorandum of understanding with Lagos State on the issuance of green bond in Lagos State. I think we believe we can do green and blue bonds. I believe the governor's representative will speak more to that. In recognition to the noteworthy strides made by FMDQ Group towards the development of the Nigerian financial markets, and in support of the SDGs, FMDQ Group was recently appointed as the Secretariat of the Organized Private Sector in Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, OPS WASH. This initiative was inaugurated by the Honorable Minister of Water Resources in October 2019 with the objective of mobilizing indigenous private sector institutions under a single body for the sustainability of the private sector drive to support the water, sanitation, and hygiene sector in Nigeria. As the Secretariat, FMDQ is saddled with the responsibility to provide technical assistance and represent OPC WASH at engagement sessions towards the execution of 2 projects approved by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SANGCON. And the projects are 1, to facilitate the issuance of the proposed Maiden Blue Bond, Mrs. Hammond, don't get beaten, by the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, and B, support OPS WASH with an accelerated review of the existing Executive Order 009, Open Defecation-Free Nigeria by 2025, and other related matters Order 2019, to incorporate tax credit scheme to support water infrastructure and sanitation across the geopolitical zones. We know the federal government has introduced tax credit scheme for roads. We believe the WASH agenda deserves it, and that's what the Vice President has approved. With climate change increasingly becoming one of the biggest risks facing the world today, and in recognition of an even greater need to promote economic development in Nigeria through green and sustainable finance, FMDQ Group considered it pertinent to launch the Green Exchange Initiative, the FMDQ Green Exchange. The FMDQ Green Exchange is Nigeria's foremost green exchange and the first green exchange in Africa to provide an information platform dedicated to promoting transparency, good governance, and the growth of green and sustainable finance in the Nigerian financial markets. by showcasing sustainability-linked capital raising activities, securities issuances that align with global ESG principles. The FMDQ Green Exchange will provide a one-stop repository for all green and sustainable debt securities listed on FMDQ Securities Exchange, affording issuers increased visibility throughout the life of such securities via the publication of relevant information and data. The FMDQ Green Exchange will also provide relevant stakeholders with access to ESG-related resources and data by displaying data, information for green and sustainable securities, thereby providing quicker access to the niche segment, improving visibility for such securities and their issuers, and enhancing knowledge and education for investors, issuers, etc. in the green and sustainable finance space. We are indeed proud to note that the launch of Nigeria's premier green exchange places Nigeria, and by extension Africa, amongst other jurisdictions globally, with securities exchanges with such exclusive platforms such as the Luxembourg Stock Exchange, which launched the world's first and leading dedicated platform for sustainable finance, i.e. the Luxembourg Green Exchange, the Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing Exchange, and Clearing Limited, and the International Stock Exchange, amongst others. It is hoped that the launch of this dedicated platform in Nigeria will encourage issuers, investors, and other financial market stakeholders to key into capital raising and related activities that are geared towards promoting the global green and sustainable finance drive. Not resting on our laurels and remaining fervently guided by our 5 main sustainability pillars, which include our business, markets, people, community, and environment, we're confident that FMDQ Group, via the FMDQ Green Exchange Initiative, will actively and consciously progress over time to 1. Become a global extensive repository for Nigerian sustainability-linked resources and data. 2. Promote global stakeholders engagement sessions where key participants can interact to foster the growth of green and sustainable finance. 3. Collaborate on and/or facilitate sustainability-linked certification programs. And finally, boost investors' confidence, most importantly, through the adoption and implementation of globally accepted regulatory frameworks and standards for sustainability reporting. I would, at this juncture, introduce the 3 pioneer issuers of green and sustainability debt securities listed on FMDQ Securities Exchange. 1. The Federal Government of Nigeria. 2. Access Bank PLC. And 3. North-South Power Limited via the NSP SPV Power Corp PLC. It is with great pleasure that I announce the inclusion and display of these issuers and their combined 5 issued green and sustainable debt securities valued at 55 billion. And Access Bank contributed to that 55 billion. Welcome, Victor. As the pioneer issuers and securities on the FMDQ Green Exchange platform, please join me in congratulating these issuers. You already did. Thank you very much. Finally, I once again thank the special guest of honor of this ceremony, represented by Mrs. Amon, our honorable guests, and other distinguished guests attending this ceremony physically and virtually. I am indeed confident that we are all gathered here today because we are severally and jointly determined to tap into the many opportunities the Nigerian green and sustainable finance market aims to provide to develop our economy. Thank you all for your attention, and I wish you a most pleasurable and positively impacting ceremony. Thank you.